The pick of the open ocean paddling fraternity in Aotearoa assembled at Sandy Bay on the Tutukaka coast for the start of the annual Poor Knights Crossing race. While the wind was not quite ready to play ball, the paddlers were all keen to hit the ocean for the toughest open ocean event in the country. The annual Poor Knights Crossing race is a 30-kilometre offshore canoe race finishing at the Marine Reserve and Wildlife Sanctuary established in 1981 and covering an area of 2,400 hectares. It's administered by the Department of Conservation, and you can visit the island with Dive Tutukaka, who are also the support boats for today's paddle and ride home. The wildlife and fish have exploded since the reserve opened, and Dive Tutukaka offers sightseeing, snorkelling, kayaking trips and their world-famous dive trips.
I'd say Simon Longdale would be the favourite at the moment. He's probably done the most training over the winter, and Travis Mitchell's always a pretty good paddler and handy at these sort of distances. So.
Yeah, really excited about today. Not much wind at the stage, but I think later in the afternoon it'll pick up a little bit, so hopefully there'll be a bit of wind behind us, and just really excited to get out to the Poor Knights and finish through the arch. I haven't been out through the arch, so yeah, it'll be really cool. And as a local who lives here, it's really special to get out.
Tupu King, yeah, he's probably going to be in a league of his own, I would say. He's been doing some solid races in Tahiti, so yeah, he'd be my pick for today.
Hopefully there's some wind, a little bit of wind maybe, so hopefully get some swells to ride way across, but definitely the highlight will be arriving at the Poor Knights and paddling through Southern Arch.
I'm from Tauranga, and I'm looking forward to the cave at the end so I can have a rest.
Yeah, I've never been to the Poor Knights, so this is a good opportunity just to get out there and have a look, and hopefully it's not too hard paddling out.
There's some tough competition here. You got Tupu and Sean, who will both probably be right up the front there, and yeah, so it depends who has a good race and who makes the least amount of mistakes.
I live just down the end of the beach, and I paddle out here very regularly, but I don't go out that far. I take my boat that far when I go that far these days. I paddle out around Elizabeth Reef, which is about 10k round, which is not even a third of the way out to the Poor Knights, so I stick to that.
We're going to be leaving Sandy Bay, heading out to the Poor Knights via a little dog leg up to Elizabeth Reef.
As the flag falls to signal the start, it doesn't take long for the pecking order to form, with race favourite Simon Longdale in the red-nose ski and Travis Mitchell quick to jump to the front. But the chase pack is not far off the lead pace, with Tauranga's Mike Walker and Aucklanders Tim McLaren and Andrew Molam keen to keep in touch with the leaders. The Waka fraternity are a seasoned crew. Here's Stephen Ralston and Tupu King, two Northland-based paddlers going at it. Pam Kane leads the women's ski field with some cheeky Waka paddlers making the most of her wake. The leaders round the Dive Tutukaka boat and set course for the Poor Knights, just a speck on the horizon. While the Poor Knight crossing has support boats spread out over the course, it's an honest 30 kilometres of open ocean, so it's good to have a fair bit of paddling under your belt. The Waka race is starting to heat up as they reach the first turning point, 6 kilometres into the 30-kilometre course. Sean Herbert, Troy Dolman and Jamil Ruka keep the pace on. Now well into their work, Longdale and Mitchell trade the lead. They've jumped clear and have certainly lifted the pace. The chasers are starting to feel the pressure. At 4 minutes 20, Walker maintains his form, as does Jono Reshiv, another 30 seconds back. There's some local rivalries on the line here between Garth Spencer and Tim McLaren. The wind is absent, but the paddlers churn through their work. Here's Nairi Pehi leading the women's waka field, with a few of the men feeling the pressure. The field is starting to stretch out. There's a mix of skis and waka spread all over the ocean now. There's some tactical decisions being made. There's only one way to attack this though, with a go-hard attitude. Look at this husband and wife team of Nigel and Birgit Draper going hard in their double waka. Pam Kane is holding her form on the ski too. But out the front, Simon Longdill has made his move. He's in splendid isolation now, working the ocean for every drop of assistance. He's heading on a southern line to the finish. This could be a move that seals his victory. Travis Mitchell is not too far back though, and is holding good boat speed as Kaimata Island emerges from the haze in the background. The Poor Knights are looming large on the horizon now. Here comes Simon Longdill. He's boosting it on every run now and heads close to the rocky outcrops of Tawhiti Rahi Island, looking for some refraction swell to help him home. He's well clear of the chasers as he approaches the finish. And there it is, the majestic southern archway of the Poor Knights Marine Reserve. Longdill secures the victory. Mitchell cruises home second, with time to enjoy the scenery. McLaren grabs third place. He's had a tough day in the bucket, but he finishes still looking sharp.
Oh, she was a good race. Not a lot of wind today. It was slowly building as we went out, so it was really a case of not working too hard in the first bit because you really wanted to have a little bit of gas left in the tank for when the runs came up, so you could just sort of keep on them and keep your boat speed up. But it was a beautiful day. I think everything sort of worked out pretty well overall. It was conditions were good. It was a good test for everyone. There was a bit of flat stuff at the start. Got a little bit more technical as we get into the race. The wind didn't really come in, but it was coming over our left shoulder a lot. So to catch the runs, you had to be very careful you weren't going too far south and coming off the straightest line. It was me, Travis and Mike to start with. Travis and I broke away from Mike pretty early on, and I knew Travis would be very tough, so we were just checking each other out, swapping a few leads. And about halfway through, I made a bit of a break south. He kept going north, and luckily it worked out all right for me today.
Sean Herbert grabs second place in the waka. That archway must surely be the most spectacular finish line for any ocean paddle race on the planet.
Yeah, it was a good race. When we got there this morning, it wasn't much wind, so I was a little bit worried. But the wind was coming from the left, so my plan was to kind of track left a bit and hopefully get a bit of bump towards the end and cut in towards the island here. But I was keeping track on Steve. I could only see his canoe because it's red. But when I finished here, it was good to see Sean and Powder arrived second and third. I was a bit surprised because I couldn't see their canoe through the race, but yeah, good to take the first place and good to be racing back in New Zealand again. Other than used to Tahiti, I was in Tahiti last week and head back there next week. So it's good to race in New Zealand waters again.
And here's Pam Kane winning the women's ski race. Doc Lawson still giving it the juice as he crosses the finish line. Well, that's a wrap. It's time to get on board Perfect Day, have a shower and a feed and head back to the mainland. Keep an eye out for the 2018 event and line up on the start for the great Poor Knights Crossing